High quality literature goes beyond entertaining the students, but instead builds language skills, has strong development of characters, and allows the students to attribute deeper meaning to the text. MacDonald argues that quality texts foster both literary skills and emotional intelligence of the reader, giving the learner the opportunity to read in a social construct. This is critical within the Australian curriculum because it connects the literature to identity, empathy, and imagination. Without access to these texts, Kremen et al. Contends that the students will enter a cycle of disadvantage as they are not able to develop both their literary skills and the personal development that is offered by high-quality literature. Pip Harry's August and Jones exemplifies high-quality literature. On the surface, the book follows 2 Year 6 students and their friendship as they attempt to complete a shared bucket list before Jones loses her vision completely. Beneath this is a story of friendship, there are layers of character development and social issues that are faced by both protagonists, including Jones's disability, the divorce of August's parents, and the feeling of isolation that they both experience. An example of this is when August isolates himself from the class and feels he is unable to relate to his peers. This demonstrates how Harry situates August's isolation within a space that should feel comfortable and familiar. This is contrasted by Jones, who is new to the school and feels as if no one in the class sees her as anything more than a disability, demonstrating how children with disability can feel isolated due to a difference that they are unable to affect. These contrasts lay the foundation for the growth that both characters go through, with August standing up to his peers teasing him about enjoying the play Hamilton, and Jones confidently talking to the class about her surgery later in the book. This demonstrates the depth of character development that Harry creates within this narrative. This suggests that each individual is able to take agency over their own lives and that the limitations placed upon us do not have to affect us. These are not simple characters, but instead children navigating upper primary, developing their resilience, vulnerability, and sense of belonging. Thematically, the novel focuses on resilience and courage in the face of adversity, particularly in the determination that Jones demonstrates to complete the bucket list, even once her vision was gone. August's acceptance of Jones and empathy that Jones demonstrates towards the struggles that August faces assist in modelling an inclusive relationship that resonates with upper primary students who are on a journey to find where they belong. A key aspect of the novel in which Harry does not rely on the stereotypes of disability, ensuring the reader sees Jones as much more of her lack of vision and see beyond August's anxiety. As can be seen when there's demonstrated how good a runner Jones is and how August is an excellent artist. Instead, these differences are used to show the complexities of human life and are treated as part of the journey, not a defining feature. As a mentor text, August and Jones offers students the opportunity to simultaneously read and develop their writing skills. The alternating narration demonstrates a technique which the students can utilize to increase voice within their writing, as well as how changing perspective can add depth to the story. This is additional to the characterization which the story allows the reader to reflect on how they build the characters and develop this in their own writing. This novel is a contemporary realism novel defined by MacDonald as a story that is plausible and built on everyday events. This is particularly evident as the novel is based in present-day Australia, exploring the friendship of 2 Year 6 students. The novel addresses challenges that students may recognise as readers, such as family changes, moving houses, and living with disability. Stylistically, this novel employs an alternating first-person narration. This gives insight into both characters instead of restricting the narrative to one viewpoint. This increases the complexity of the story development and works to increase the empathy that the reader develops towards each of the characters, as the feelings and actions of both characters are both clearly demonstrated to the audience. An example of this is when the reader can see how August's joy of winning the grand final negatively affects Jones as she feels as she has forgotten about his promise to come to the zoo. This structure develops the development of the characters by showing how the same event can affect people differently. Culturally, the novel reflects contemporary Australian society by addressing family breakdown, inclusion, and belonging. These experiences of characters such as Jones' supportive family struggling with her vision and the unstable family background of August are realities faced by many Australians. In the story, when Jones first moves school, she struggles to make friends and feels unwelcome as her peers reduce her to a disability. This part of the book challenges the reader to reflect on their own prejudices and snap judgments that shape social interactions, as well as the struggles of moving schools a lot of students face. Socially, the book effectively challenges accessibility and inclusion, which are key elements shown throughout the novel. This is done by presenting Jones's disability as only one aspect of her identity, viewed through her own perspective and through August. In addition, social issues such as bullying and belonging are addressed in authentic and age-appropriate ways for primary students, both in school and at home. The book reflects on the educational and social attitudes towards diversity and inclusion in our schools. This is done in a number of different ways and is used to encourage and uplift these students, showing that they are more than their disability and more than how people perceive them, but instead can do incredible things. This challenges the historical ways in which school and society have treated students with disability, challenging these stereotypes that are still present today. The cultural and social context presented in this book make it relevant and meaningful to today's students. Reading this text opens conversations and provides opportunity for the students to critically reflect on empathy, understanding, and the way they treat people that may be different to them. Having a text with diverse representations accessible for all students is key, as it promotes representation, plays a large role in students' self-confidence, and also empathy from all students. Harry effectively portrays the character's story by looking at the students and the characters for who they are and not for what they lack. This story takes place in an Australian school community spanning both rural New South Wales and the city of Sydney. The school is central to the story, however they also explore familiar locations for Australian readers such as the Sydney Harbour Bridge and Mount Kosciuszko. This enhances the relatability to the students and allows them to see everyday experiences alongside extraordinary one-off experiences that the characters participated in. Throughout the book, characterization is a key element. The alternating first-person narration means that two characters are developed in depth throughout. The protagonists are highly contrasting individuals with different backgrounds, upbringings, passions, and attitudes. This contrast gives readers a richer understanding of the friendship that they had developed and shows the growth that they both experienced throughout the text. The alternating narration ensures both character arcs are clearly shown and the growth can be better appreciated. The text's key themes encourage the readers to consider their own lives, relationships, and values. Themes including friendship and loyalty shown through August and Joan's unlikely bond as they explore the world around them. Courage is evident throughout as both children face challenges with determination and resilience. Inclusion and understanding are explored through the way August is treated both in school as well as outside of school. Another recurring theme is seizing the opportunities when they are presented, which can be seen in the way the children develop their bucket list and strive to complete it. These themes are universal, accessible, and allow for deep conversation and critical reflection in the classroom setting. Students are likely to respond emotionally with empathy for Joan's illness and admiration for August's loyalty. They may also reflect on their own friendships and identities as well as their own family situations. MacDonald suggests this type of engagement demonstrates the way that students use their repertoires of response, drawing on personal experience, imagination, and critical reflection to link with the story. Potential gaps may exist for students without exposure to disability, making the discussion about this topic critical for developing inclusive attitudes. As a mentor text, it models literary devices such as characterization, alternating voice, the use of descriptive language, and symbolism, which students can emulate using their own writing. And more importantly, it fosters critical literacy, inviting students to question how disability and difference are represented and to imagine more inclusive features. Visual literacy. Visual literacy. The collage that I created was inspired by themes of friendship, resilience, and inclusion. I also focused on the contrast that exists between the protagonists. The collage is divided into two halves, with the individual sides being brought together with held hands. This structure mirrors the novel's alternating narration, where the reader first understands the characters as individuals before seeing how their lives are interwoven. The most salient aspect of this picture are the two hands held in the middle of the split collage. This placement is significant, symbolizing the core of the story, the friendship and the bond that links these characters together. The contrast in the halves with the interlinking aspect works to demonstrate the difference of each individual and how they come together throughout the text. August's side of the collage is full of dark colours with the autumn leaves falling and a dark sky under the arm silhouette, as well as the walking silhouette. These darker colours are put there to symbolise his anxiety and how he felt prior to meeting Jones. The muted palette and falling leaves suggest decay and detachment, reinforcing the internal struggles that he experiences with others both in the classroom and within his family, specifically his father. This is contrasted with the other side of the collage dedicated to Jones, where the majority of the image has bright colours. However, elements of the hospital bed and hourglass due to her illness and possibility of going blind are presented. This contrast of colours is constructed to invite the viewer to reflect on how their relationship was symbiotic, helping them to face their struggles together, August with the struggles of being alone and Jones with their struggles of illness. The vector point of the image is the centre point of the hands. This works due to leading lines bringing the audience eyes to the centre of the page where the two sides meet. This is intentional as it brings the emphasis of the story, the emphasis of the viewer's eyes to the emphasis of the story, which is a relationship that was developed. From this point, the viewer can explore the differences of the individuals through the pictures presented. The collage uses symbolism throughout. Although some images are clear, such as the hospital bed, other aspects require more in-depth thinking. The autumn leaves falling in the dark sky show the anxious and sad world view held by artists. Conversely, where the bright colours and stunning sunrise indicate the difference in perspective that both August and Jones have. Through these design choices, the collage mirrors the central themes of friendship, resilience, and inclusion. A combination of salience, contrast, and symbolism highlight how two very different young people are able to grow through a relationship, providing viewers a visual representation of the text's emotional core. My poem reads as follows. August walks the halls full of fear, the creeping dread that lingers near. Jones walks with one eye blind, yet through it all her kindness shines. They share a story full of unexpected hope and wonder. They share this walk, and through it August learns how to talk. He spoke of sad times of pain in his heart. She spoke of dreams, always full of spark. With every laugh, the hurt felt small. Through every tear, they grew so tall. Though Jones knows her days are few, the bond they built stands strong and true, that no matter what may come, true hope cannot be undone. This poem responds to the text by capturing the contrast between August's fear and isolation and Jones' resilience and kindness, shown through how their friendship transforms both characters. Similar to how the text narrates narration, this poem is designed to contrast the perspectives of light and darkness, with the poem mostly looking at the positive impact that Jones had on August's lives. Lines such as August walks the halls full of fear, the feeling of dread is far too near, highlight the internal struggles he experiences at the beginning of the book, emphasized through the repetition and imagery of those emotions. This is contrasted by lines written focusing on Jones, such as Jones walks with one eye blind, but through it all her kindness shines. The use of a simple rhyming pattern here emphasizes her resilience and compassion in the face of illness, which was developed to mirror the text which highlights how Jones is more than a disability. This poem also implemented symbolism through the lines she spoke of dreams so full of spark, where the spark relates to Jones's dedication to completing her bucket list, and the joy that she brings to August's life. The structure of the poem builds from individual struggle to a shared resilience, again mirroring the text. The beginning stanzas show them as individuals, however, as the poem progresses, they come together following the novel structure. The rhyming structure was chosen specifically to reinforce the connection and rhythm of their friendship, as well as opening up the accessibility that is present throughout the text. It also is interlinked to show the connection and rhythm of their friendship, with each line relying on another in the same way that August and Jones rely on each other through the text. Finally, in the final stanza, the contrast is used between the limitation and permanence, with Jones's looming threat of losing her vision being juxtaposed with the lasting friendship that they have developed. This reflects the text's themes of resilience, inclusion, and how friendship provides strength and meaning in the face of seemingly unsurmountable odds. As the text producer, these poetic tools of rhyme, symbolism, contrast, and imagery are intentional to represent the text's emotional core. It invites the audience to feel the weight of the struggle that is faced, whilst also being overwhelmed by the impact of their friendship. Thank you for listening.